His ass is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Wasted world of sports, ahoy. You know what? I'm going to get that right one day. One of these days, I swear it. One of these days, I'm going to get that correct, that intro. Welcome along, everybody. Gamer Mel, ahoy. You enjoy yourself, Gamer Mel. You deserve it. Leith, ahoy there. Blake Lyons, ahoy. Vobsy, ahoy, mate. Username, ahoy. Username is preparing the potato salad. Very nice. I don't know how potato salad goes with bourbon, but we'll find out. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited for this game. Panthers versus Storm. It's become a finals rivalry. One of the greatest finals games that I've seen in recent history was definitely, was it the COVID year? It might have been, no, it might have been post-COVID actually. But the Panthers, no, it was still the COVID era, but there was crowds allowed back. A certain capacity of crowds, I think, because it was the Panthers defeating the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp. The Panthers started with a hiss and a roar. Cleary with the crossfield kick from right in front of the posts, all the way out to Stephen Crichton on the wing. Wilma, ahoy there. Welcome along. Now we have a very special guest joining us this evening. We're just waiting for his fashionably late arrival, and we'll be ready to roll with that. But in the meantime, let's preview this game. Panthers versus Storm. Yes, a finals rivalry that has well and truly developed here in the NRL. These two teams, they always, in recent history at least, always seem to be at the back end of the season, always seem to be on a collision course with one another. I have the Panthers winning. I have the Panthers winning quite comfortably. I wouldn't say that it's going to be a shellacking. I don't think it'll be a smashing, that's for sure. But I think that they will probably win quite comfortably in the end after 60 minutes or so of solid, grinding footy. Leith has the Panthers versus the Broncos in the grand final. This whole tournament just sort of came together for the Broncos, didn't it? I must admit, I'd written them off multiple times throughout the course of the year, but it just all came together. It all came together for them, didn't it? And here they are, a preliminary final, an elimination final at Suncorp. They're on the cusp of a grand final appearance. Of course it's at Suncorp. Wilma Titsgrow, your grand final is Storm versus Broncos. Well, look, never, ever count out a Craig Bellamy coach team. I say the same thing about Wayne Bennett. Craig Bellamy, never count out a Bellamy coach team. This Melbourne Storm, they've just lurked in the background, haven't they? They've just eased on through the competition without really setting it alight. And here they are once again at the business end, and anything can happen on the night. I would love to see a Panthers Warriors grand final. That's what I would like to see. But there's no doubt that realistically, the Panthers and the Broncos have been the two form teams of the competition. Truth Masters, ahoy there. The best channel ever. Oh, thank you so much. Hang on, you were talking about me, right? Before I go jumping the gun and saying thank you, I better find out you're actually talking about me. I'll take a wild one, says Truth Masters. It's going to extra time. Decent bet. Let's have a look, actually. let's have a look. What are some of the odds? I don't have a multi on this game. Work has been insane this week. Absolutely insane. I had a choice to make earlier. Catch a sleep. Catch a few Z's. So that I was all raring to go. Look, on reflection, I probably would have been raring to go for this game anyway. Friday night. The last Friday night footy of the season. So I had a choice. So I decided to catch some sleep and be raring to go. All right, all markets. Is there a bet option? Surely there's a bet option to go extra time or some sort of match finish. Match markets. Will there be extra time? Yes, $15. It's paying $15. Oh, you know what? That is worth it. Honestly. Just chuck, honestly, if you've got a spare $10, $15 for that to go to extra time is worth throwing $10 away for the chance to win 150, yeah? I'm going to do that one. It's only $10. Final score would be 38-12 Panthers. Well, you're probably right there, in all honesty. You're probably right, username. But look, for $10... For $10, who cares? UFC, ahoy, mate. How you doing? And don't forget, if Melbourne get on top early, they have the past couple of times these teams have played. If Melbourne get on top early, look for a potential cash out on that one as well. I won't make much money, but hey, I could make a cheeky little profit. Well, after that statement, Dan, you have to end it with, what is gambling really costing? Yeah, you know what? I probably should be doing more just to cover myself. This is not a gambling channel. Gamble responsibly and all of that. It's not a gambling channel. I just advocated for everybody who's got a... But see, notice I said if you've got a spare $10. I'm not suggesting use your last remaining $10 in your bank account to put it on that, because it's probably not going to win. That's why. Shack of Hearts, ahoy, mate. Oh, God damn you, Wilma. God damn you. Blake Lyons says you should make a video. Who is the best team? Who is the worst team? From 17th, first place is the best. Well, that makes sense. You'd be surprised, Shack of Hearts. You'd be walking a very fine line, of course. Gaming with Braden, ahoy. How are you doing there? Everyone knows the Tigers are the best, Storm are the worst. I don't think the Tigers are as bad as their season has suggested, in all honesty. There are some positive signs there. A positive sign is not the recent re-signing, not resigning. A resigning would be a great move, but the recent re-signing of one of the head board member just happened the other day. Can't remember the guy's name. But honestly, that place is a bloody shambles. Tigers over the Dragons every day of the week. Very, very close to kickoff now. 10 minutes to go. The countdown is on. Who's my favorite person from the Sharks? None of them at the moment. They were awful this season. Awful. All of them. All right. What else can we put on? Gamble responsibly. Player points scored. Nick Meaney. or Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary to score 10 plus points is only paying $2. Did you see that holy moly Olakau'atu got offered $5.6 million over 7 years to stay with Manly? I did not see that. Holy hell. He sort of fell away towards the back end of the season, didn't he? Oh, Shack of Hearts, 100%, mate, unless they just beat the ever-loving crap out of each other and somebody, a key player, goes down injured. That could be the difference maker, but outside of a disaster, outside of an absolute disaster for either one of these teams, I'm on board with that for sure. I think this is the grand final. This is what I was expecting the grand final to be. It just really didn't pan out that way. It fell in favor of the Broncos, really, towards the back end of the season. And it looks likely that we're going to get a Panthers or Storm versus Broncos final. Let's not write off the Warriors, though. The Warriors could spring a major upset tomorrow night. They could. Let's not count that out. Let's not rule that out as a possibility. It is going to take a monumental effort to come here and play at Suncorp. But it could happen. Teams are out warming up. Blake Lyons says you're the best YouTuber who does sport. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think it's safe to say I've got the best community. But I might be a little bit biased there. Ivan, ahoy there. How are you, mate? Will. I was just talking about that. Welcome along, Will. But that's what I was just talking about. It could potentially be a catastrophe for either team, this one. Who do you think will win the Dally M medal? Sean Johnson's got to be up there as a favourite at the moment, doesn't he? Whoops. Hang on. What happened to my screen? Back. Shack of Heart says, what is my favourite? Panthers. They're too good. Their depth outmatches any other team, in my opinion. 100%. And that's something that we'll talk about once our special guest arrives. We will get his opinion on this as well. But it's a bit of a risk, in my opinion, playing Jerome Luai. It is hard to imagine that Jerome Luai is at fully 100% fit. So essentially, they're carrying a bench player who's there just in case something happens to Luai. They're essentially playing this game with one less player. Now, I think that Jack Cogger, he could come on and do a job somewhere else, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. So, Daniel Opiari, ahoy there. Welcome along. Storm will edge out the Panthers in tonight's game. I think it's going to be very, very close. I think we've got two really close games. We have two incredibly short-priced favourites at the bookmakers, but I'm not buying into it. I'm really not. I think that both of these games could potentially go absolutely either way. They're both going to be close, hard-fought encounters, at least for 60 or 70 minutes. Maybe the games blow out towards the back end, but we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Here's the thing, though. If Melbourne burst out of the gates, take an early lead, it's game on. Panthers, if they race off out of the gates, it could be all over very, very early. Oh, I've got to hype it up. I'm excited, Vobsy. I'm excited. Somebody was asking me, Blake was asking me if I'm still going to do live streams when the NRL finishes for the year. Absolutely. I'm covering the Rugby World Cup. We saw a fantastic game the other night where Fiji, for the first time ever at a Rugby World Cup and the first time since something like 1964, defeated the Wallabies. And it was such an amazing moment to be part of history. Unfortunately, being part of that history cost me one copyright strike on the channel. I'm surprised, though, that it took, in all honesty, considering some of the stuff that we do with game analysis and whatnot, especially on the Generations podcast, I'm surprised it's taken a year and a half or 2 years, essentially, to get the first copyright strike. But anyways, it was worth it. That was such an amazing moment to be part of. Such an amazing part of history. And hopefully we see some more amazing moments coming up this weekend. But yes, to answer your question, absolutely, there will be more streams going on once the NRL is finished. We've got the Pacific Cup, or whatever it's called, the Rugby League Internationals are coming up, which I believe is Australia, New Zealand, Samoa. There's probably some other teams in it as well, but yep, that's coming up as well in October, I believe, next month. That all gets underway, so plenty to keep us entertained in the off-season. That's for sure. Plenty to keep us going. And then by the time the Rugby World Cup is over, that finishes up late October, early November. It's only a few months until the Las Vegas games. It's going to come around really quick. Oh, the teams are there. They're hyped up. They're amped up. Everybody's pumped up. BFTA Vibes NZ says, let's go Storm. Here come the Melbourne Storm. They are running out onto the paddock now. Oh, we are so close to kickoff. Which teams are going to Las Vegas? The Brisbane Broncos, of course. Couldn't have them miss out. Although it shall be bizarre to see the Broncos play a game away from Suncorp. That's probably what I'm most excited about. Seeing the Broncos away from home. Broncos, Souths, Manly, and Roosters, I believe, are the 4 teams that will be off to Las Vegas. Here they come, the Melbourne Storm, out onto the field. So I didn't manage to get any other bets on, so we've only got that one bet. Who's the referee? Adam G. Adam G is the referee. Oh, BFTA Vibes NZ, thank you very much, mate. Cheers for the super chat. Thank you very much. As I always say, totally not expected, but very much appreciated. Truth Master says, lucky they didn't send the Tigers to Las Vegas. Could have been interesting, though. That is a very relaxed and focused-looking Melbourne Storm team. There we go. There's that alert. Thank you very much there. BFTA Vibes. And Zed. Here come the Panthers, the home team, essentially, for this one. Even though they're not at their home ground, they are the home team. The Panthers led out by Nathan Cleary. BFTA vibes, hoping for a Storm Warriors final. That'd be great. Bobsy says Luai wishes he was Kronk. It'll be very interesting to see. Let's not forget that Jerome Luai has to be carrying a little niggle. Surely. The round 26 shoulder injury. Oh, UFC, we only do Generations bi-weekly. So we'll be back again this coming Wednesday night. Will asks if Jerome Hughes is 100%. Good question. Both oh, we have a minute's silence for Lionel Morgan. Lionel Morgan, 1944 to 2023. Solid effort. Bi-weekly just means every fortnight, yes. I just like to say bye. Anyway. There we go. Oh, Lionel Richie. I think he's here. Here he is. The old Panther himself. Just in time for the kickoff. The old Panther. Just in time.
And tipping comp champion?
Tipping comp champion. I was going to wait till half time to bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Because we're about to get underway.
Yep.
Now we've got a very special little setup here for you tonight. You've got your chair over there.
Yeah.
Now,
I had it.
Well, you had it. It's stolen. So whenever you want to chime in, you've got your microphone there. You just need to press the button on the underside. Because otherwise it's going to pick me up as well because I'm extremely loud. So, yes. There we go. This game is underway. And the Panthers will get first use of it. Let's check out the gameplay screen. Big defense from the Storm early, as expected. Buffering. Isaiah Yo with the hit up. This is solid defense. This is finals-worthy defense. All right, let's go. Pop the old Panther on screen there, just so that you're aware. Don't pick your nose or anything. So we can keep an eye on the old Panthers' reactions. Die-hard Panthers supporter, of course. Back to Cleary for the first kick of the game, deep inside their own half. And it's a solid contact. Wilma says, at least there won't be any swearing tonight. Take note, Michelle. Melbourne with their first run. Keep an eye on Jerome Luai in defense. Are they hiding him in the defensive line? No, there he is, front and center. That's a test for the shoulder early. Has he passed the first test? It looks low. He doesn't look... He didn't look completely comfortable. Was it his left shoulder? He didn't look completely comfortable there. Fifth and last, Melbourne. Back to Munster. Puts it high into the corner. Takes it. Drops to ground. And solid start for both teams here. This game could indeed, hopefully, live up to expectation. Flash Red, how are you doing there, mate? Flash Red has tipped the Storm. Geez, it feels like there's been much more than 2 minutes gone in this game. It really does. And there's the first penalty of the game, and it goes to the Penrith Panthers. So, you don't have to say anything, but I just wanted to show. That'll turn on successfully. So just feel free to chime in anytime that you would like to say something. Because I was actually going to ask you what you thought about playing Jerome Luai, if you thought it was a risk or not. Have you got it?
Well, I'm not sure. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, there's
And you can actually move that over too.
there's two sides to that coin, Dan.
Yes.
The Phil Gould suggested that if he was going to play him, he'd want one game out of him, and that's the grand final. But the other side of the coin is that they suggest that if Penrith make the grand final...
Here go the Panthers for the corner, and Brian To'o has scored. Brian To'o has scored the first try of the game. It's gone up as a try. I told you that I would be extremely loud through that. What I might do is I might actually set it up so that I've got control of that. Then you don't have to keep fiddling with it. If you leave it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll set it up so that I've got control of it over here, so that when I know I'm going to yell,
Yeah.
I can just...
And I don't want to miss any of the action.
Yeah, exactly. The Panthers with great shape out to the right-hand side.
Good stuff.
He understands. He understands, Wilma. The action was beckoning.
Yes, the other side of the coin, Dan, was that if Penrith make the grand final, it'd be handy to have Luai have already had one game under his belt. And
Yeah.
I guess that's the same way they're thinking about Tago.
Yep. Yeah, Tungo's been back for a couple of weeks now, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, probably
Yeah.
you're right.
Yep. Wow, how about that? Perfect shape out to the right. A simple draw and pass the overlap, and To'o is pumped up for that one.
He was.
What did you think of that?
Just that Edwards 2 combination again. I still say it's the forwards that do the hard yakka and open it up for them.
Oh, absolutely. Andrew Johns, the great Andrew Johns, he actually said it's the forwards who win the match. It's the backs that decide by how many.
Right.
Cleary from the sideline. It's hooking back. It's hooking back. It hits the far post and bounces away. 4 points to 0. Do you like Jerome Luai, or do you think he's a bit up himself, old Panther?
Oh, definitely, he's up himself. But you've got to be. Most of the good players are, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, I would have said that the most up himself player at the moment in the NRL is Reece Walsh. And he doesn't even have the runs on the board to deserve it. How about that? So I think that's worse. At least Luai's got the runs on the board. He's a State of Origin winner. He's a grand final winner. Samoa went deep into the Rugby World Cup. What's Reece Walsh done to justify the way he carries on? But at the end of the day, these are just young guys in superstar positions, and some of them are going to act up. Simple as that, really. What a start here for the Panthers. That is a dream start for them inside the first 6 minutes. Got us a little bit of the bubbly to celebrate when the Panthers get up.
Who are we going to tip that over?
Tip it over? What a waste. We'll tip it down my throat. 4 points to nil. Now Melbourne with the ball. Michelle, ahoy there. That'll be you in that chair tomorrow night. That could have been taken extremely weirdly. Where's UFC? Don't you say anything, UFC. Fifth and last here. For Melbourne. Putting it high into the corner. To'o. Why would you keep kicking to To'o? Solid under the high ball and another penalty. Oh, this is what Melbourne were doing against the Broncos. Just giving away penalty after penalty. Piggybacking the opposition upfield. Scary signs here for Melbourne. This is exactly what happened to them the other week against the Broncos. Just ill discipline all across the park. Panthers ball up over halfway. Moses Leota. Look at the size of that man. Cleary down the blind side. Short pass to Liam Martin. And Martin stands. They can't get him to ground. He's being helped up by Dylan Edwards. That was fantastic. That has got to be a 6 again, surely. No, it's not. There's Luai getting involved again. Change of direction. For Sorensen. David Stevens says, let's go Panthers, as Yo runs it to the line. Shape out to the right again, but they cut back in field to Tungo. And Tungo is taken. Fifth and last, 10 out from the line. Cleary, what can he come up with here? Crossfield kick. It's into the end goal. And it's taken. It's taken on the full. Seve. And this will be a tap from 20 out for the Melbourne Storm. Kama Hamo 685 says up the pars. Blake Lyons asks if the old Panther goes for the Sharks. No, he goes for the Panthers. Panthers through and through. But it is Melbourne with the ball. 66. Did I see that correctly? And did that say that Melbourne have had 66% territory? That is hard to believe. Hughes dummies the kick. Almost goes through a gap. Fifth and last. They're in range here. Melbourne, can they strike back? Meaney puts the kick up. Tapped back by Melbourne. No, it was knocked on by the Panthers, and this is 6 again. Oh, did somebody say penalty Broncos? T-shirt now available. 5 out from the line here, Melbourne. Dummy left. But trying to crash over from dummy half. He wasn't close enough to the line for that, Bronson Garlick. Nelson, big Nelson in a dummy half. Oh, they've got numbers here to the left. No. Meaney stops, cuts back in field. Nearly makes something out of nothing there. Hughes with the short ball. Melbourne are close. But the goal line defense of Stephen Crichton driving backwards with Sorensen. They're holding on here, the Panthers. Karma Chameleon, a metre short. Fifth and last it is. Munster. The double pump out the back. Now Justin Olam goes straight through some weak defence and scores. That was some extremely weak defence in midfield. And they needed that, Melbourne. Boy, did they need that. They're back. It was looking very, very flaky there. Let's see who missed that tackle. Oh, it's Tungo straight through him. Oh, very, very lazy arm out there. Well, there you go. Justin Olam, 101. Too much power. And there we go. You were correct. That Tungo, 1 game in the last 8 weeks. I knew that he had been out. I just thought that he'd already been back for a game or 2. But that's my bad, that one. Wilma has a hypothetical here. If you were fighting vampires, you would surely have Bronson Garlic in your team. £4 all here. They were numbered up, the Panthers, and it was just a simple one-on-one miss. But ultimately, it comes all the way back to that 6 again off the dropped ball. It was a tough catch, but Dylan Edwards, he normally takes those. Under any amount of pressure, he normally takes them. Oh, Craig Bellamy's happy. Well, probably about as happy as he can ever look during a game. Shack of Heart says, so we've got Vopsy, who hates the Panthers, and Michelle, who hates the Storm. It is an interesting dynamic in the chat room. Nick Meaney, can he convert? Oh, it's hooking to the left. It's hooking, and he hits the post. Oh, there's a magnet on those left-hand posts tonight. And it remains 4 points all. So back to square one for both sides. Both missing a conversion. Both scoring pretty simple tries off shape. Vopsy says after last week, he thinks he hates the Storm more than Michelle. I don't think that's possible, mate. I don't think that's possible. Michelle's hatred of the Storm dates back way more than a week, and therefore I think the fact that it still remains so just insanely strong, her hatred of that team, even when all the players that she hated them for are long gone, she still hates them. I think that she wins that one still. Big Nelson up to halfway, and the Storm, they've got a little bit of go forward here. They've got a 6 again for a ruck infringement as well. And a little bit of pressure now incoming for the Panthers, something they're not used to. Flying upfield, Karma Chameleon. They're 20 out from the line, again on tackle 3. Pressure incoming here for the Panthers. Are they going to go after Tungo again? They do. And some post-contact meters, but he holds on this time with a little bit more aggression. 10 out from the line, though, Melbourne. Still with a chance here. Garlic out the back to Munster. Munster just has to surrender. Surely. He doesn't. Yeah, he does now. He had to. He risked. Oh, he's got some. Was that some 4X undies? 5th and last, Hughes on this right-hand edge puts the ball high. Chasing through and tapping the ball back is Warbrick. It's on here for Melbourne. Oh, he just needed to pass that. Maybe they're going to score anyway. No, Justin Olms dropped it with the line wide open, and he gets a shove in the back. Oh, Bellamy is so furious. Bellamy's furious. And the Melbourne Storm do not appreciate that little shove in the back. Just letting Justin Olam know about it. It looks like Liam Martin's copped a bit of a hit, a stray boot or something. Oh, Nelson's there, front and center, of course. Of course he is. And this one's just, tensions are rising, but nothing's going to happen because you're not allowed to punch anymore. Bring back the biff, I say. So let's see what happened there. They can't surely be appealing for an escort against Stephen Crichton. It was tapped back by Warbrick, and it was on a couple of times here for Melbourne. Just a simple draw and pass, and Olam, he got a few steps ahead of himself. Just a few steps ahead of himself. Remus Smith would have scored untouched. There you go. What do you reckon he said?
I think it was something about chocolate fudge.
Chocolate fudge, for sure. Oh, so here's a question for the old Panther. What do you think about the no punch-ons? Tommy Raudonikis wouldn't have lasted in this era.
Yeah, there was an interview I listened to just recently, and they were in a final match, I think, when he was playing for Newtown, and the coach did his address to the players before the game, and Tommy said to him, "Are you finished?" And he said, "Yeah." And as soon as he the coach had finished, Tommy said to the players, "Forget all that crap. We got to win the fight. We win the fight, we win the game."
Good old Tommy. And then he probably started 2 bust-ups.
I think he probably would have. He did with Johnny Gibbs from Manly anyway.
Good old Tommy. Melbourne with the ball now, 30 out from their own line. The Panthers are being pinned down. Now stretching it wide to the right. And charging up out of the line quickly. And the ball's been called forward. Now here's an opportunity for the Panthers. They can't believe it, the Storm. Can your captains challenge a forward pass? I don't think you can. Forward pass from dummy half. Geez, we've seen a lot of those. A lot of those throughout the course of the season that don't get called. Jeez, I've seen worse ones than that get let go. But anyway, it's a scrum down for the Panthers. They'll take it, I'm sure. Yes, in all honesty, Shack of Hearts, I'm with that. If you can't get your punch on, then sledging should be illegal as well. You're not allowed to sledge the referee, so you shouldn't be allowed to sledge opposition players either, in my opinion. If you're allowed to sledge opposition player... Oh, Nelson's just taken a player out off the ball, and this is going to be a penalty, and Nelson's really got to be careful here. This is firing up again. There was absolutely no need for that. He has just raced up and taken somebody out off the ball completely, and he's just given away 2 points. And that is just complete stupidity. And now they're having a wrestling match on the ground. Tungo versus Big Nelson, is it? Surely Isaac Tungo has not decided. Well, bang. Oh, that was Cleary. Oh, yeah, well, he had an objective. He definitely had an objective there. And I honestly think that Nelson should be off for 10 minutes here. That was pretty clear-cut. It was the opposition playmaker who never looked like receiving the ball. Well, he did just pass it, I suppose. I missed that part. I apologize. There was a pretty blatant objective there, in my opinion. And this should be 10 minutes in the bin. Either way, it's going to be a gift 2 points. And the absolute silliness from Nelson. Stupidity. I think because it's the finals, he'll get away with it with just a warning. It's a push. That's why he's staying on the field, but he needs to calm down, is what referee Adam G has just said. And he's still standing there for some reason. He's perplexed. He can't believe that he got penalised for that. Nathan Cleary is just like, what are you talking to me for? We didn't do anything. What was that, sorry?
I think Bellamy's taken him off.
Oh, Bellamy's hooked him. Said, come and have a rest, mate. He's probably due for a rest anyway. Quarter of the game gone. Probably good to hook him from the field, get him to just calm down a little bit. And it was Isaac Tungo taking on Big Nelson. Geez, I'd think twice about that, Isaac. He's been subbed off. He pushed him. It was from behind, late, off the ball. Absolutely foul play. I can't believe that there's actually people trying to... Well, I can believe people are trying to justify it. We do want to see the good old rough contest come back. But, I mean, that was blatant. That was blatant in the back. Late, completely off the ball. Truthmaster says leave him on, could get under Panther skin. I think he's more likely to find himself sent off. I think Bellamy did a wise decision there to give him a little bit of a rest. And a gift 2 points to the Panthers is what's resulted. So just all a little bit silly there from Nelson. He's given away 2 points. He's earned himself a rest. Big defense from Melbourne, though. Again, it's just like the game started. Keeping the Panthers pinned down. I've not seen for a very long time the Panthers just get pinned down in their own territory like this. But they're still in the lead. Crazy. You would think, based on the territorial stats alone, they have no justification to be ahead in this game. Nelson did tell everyone he was coming in hot, Will, that's for sure. Everyone was pre-warned. Oh, and now Seve spills the ball, and the Panthers force another error. 40 out from Melbourne's line. 6 again for inside the 10. And look at the post-contact meters from To'o. At some point, he's lost his headgear. I don't know whether that was by design or somebody tried to rip it off. Probably Nelson. Tackle 2 here, Panthers. 20 meters out. Oh, Fisher-Harris with a big charge. Bumping off one. They're inside the 20 now, the Panthers. They go left. Cleary cuts back right. Yo, stepping off his right foot. Taken. 10 out from the line. Couple of tackles up their sleeve. Kenny to Fisher-Harris. Out the back to Cleary. Numbers to burn here for the Panthers. Togo, draw and pass. And To'o gets a double. To'o gets a double. Oh, Panther down that right-hand edge again.
Again. Sorry, I'm too excited.
Oh, you haven't seen excited. I was actually going to say, I've got the camera nicely cropped in on you there. So, no repeats of the grand final from a couple of years ago where Stephen Crichton took that intercept and you leapt.
Yeah, I was running with him.
It's like you were 20 years old again. You sprung up out of the chair. Ambrose Papuda. Ahoy there. Welcome along. Go Panthers. Once they get down this end, they're walking away with points, the Panthers. They're not getting down here very often, but when they do, they're making Melbourne pay. It's going to be another difficult conversion for Nathan Cleary. He's had a sighter from this exact spot. Look at the shape out to the right here. Just creating the numbers. Justin Olam caught in no man's land. Justin Olam, he was dumped. He was dropped from the team because of his defense, and he was caught in no man's land there. Mel, ahoy, are you excited? Hang on, first of all, out of hospital? Second, are you excited for tomorrow? From the sideline, he's had a sighter from here. Cleary, he has adjusted perfectly, and that is straight down the middle. Oh, he only needed one practice, and he adjusted perfectly with that second kick. 12 points to 4, the Panthers with the lead. Brian To'o with a double. Melbourne, it's just silly little mistakes. The kickoff down to Edwards and Leota from the back fence. Liam Martin now getting involved. Shakavat says, I'd say Bellyache would be less than impressed with his side's errors and ill discipline so far. Absolutely, he will be. Vopsy says Panthers will win by 18. You would certainly enjoy every moment of that, Vopsy, I'm sure. Now, Yo with a great charge. They're back in Melbourne's territory here, 5th and last, 35 out. Luai with the kick. I haven't said Luai's name much tonight. And Warbrick, safe under the high ball, secure. But Melbourne, 10 out from their own line. No penalties will be the order of the day here for the Panthers. Keep the foot on the throat. Do not piggyback them out of territory. Another tackle there from Luai. That shoulder seems to be holding up all right. He seems to be doing just the right amount of work to keep himself fully fit. 5th and last. That was a good set of defense there for Penrith. And they'll be starting in great position. Taruva, this might be the first time I think he's touched the ball tonight, is it? Mel says, thanks for asking. You're in and out of hospital at the moment. Few more days to see a surgeon. And yeah, so excited. Win or lose. Proud of the boys. That's the spirit. I think, in all honesty, they've got a very good chance of winning. I really do. I think that the Broncos might panic a little bit. All the pressure's on the Broncos when you think about it. It's not as if the Warriors have nothing to lose. They certainly have something to lose. They've got the game to lose. I hate it when people say that. They've got nothing to lose. Yes, they do. They could lose the game and be dumped out of the competition. But I think the Broncos are under far more pressure. The weight of expectation is on them, and they're not used to being here. But anyway, Cleary puts the ball high on the 5th and last. Nick Meaney secure under the high ball. And now the penalty. Just a little slow to release there, Leota. Milliseconds in it. But that's what they needed here, the Storm. A lot of hands on knees here from the Melbourne players and back play. And the kick into touch just shy of the halfway line. Melbourne with the ball. Christian Welsh, is it? Jeez. He's been quiet tonight. The captain. Mel says apparently the whole up the wires thing is trending all over the world. How good is that? Well, it depends how you look at it. I personally think it's ridiculous, the wires. And you know that I'm on the money with something when Gordon Tallis and I agree. I actually had to get on the blower to Satan and just make sure that everything was all good down there. I thought hell had frozen over. Gordon Tallis and I agreeing on something. Grant from dummy half finds some space, puts the grubber kick in. It's a little bit too deep. Tungo had to play at it. Beats one, beats two, gets into the field of play. Tungo, amazing. Amazing effort. That was incredible. He had no right to get out of there. No right to get out of his own in goal. And now Cleary down the blind side. Spots a little bit of space. Some lazy defenders. And a penalty. He wins the penalty. And that was heads up play. He was pointing the player out to the referee. The whole time he was running the ball. Him, sir, him. How did Tungo get out of the field of play, get back into the field of play here? Amazing effort. Munster going for the one-on-one strip. Probably should have just focused on making the tackle. With the benefit of hindsight, just make the tackle. But he attacked the ball, not the man. And suddenly, Penrith on the attack again. But I'm sure I'll talk more about that tomorrow anyway, the whole Wars thing. They're the Warriors. The Warriors is an intimidating sounding. We're the Warriors. Up the Warriors. It's brutal. It's intimidating. Don't call yourselves the Wars. 15 out. Now the Panthers on the attack again. Short ball from Luai to Sorensen. Almost breaking through. Fifth and last. Luai out the back to Cleary. Cleary holds up the pass, draws in the defence, and Sonny Taruva scores. And they are absolutely destroying Melbourne on both edges. They're doing it on the right, they're doing it on the left. Luai and Cleary combine. And it's Will Warbrick there. Will Warbrick, he didn't know whether to come in or stay out. Did not back Jerome Hughes to have his opposite man there, but he did. And just giving Taruva way too much space on the outside. Hang on. What are we looking at?
Well, I've seen them pull up tries for less.
What have we missed?
Well, one of the Storm defenders got knocked over.
Let's have a look on the replay. So, Stephen Crichton's run through the line and taken out Nick Meaney. And this is going to get pulled up for sure. Stephen Crichton's taken out Nick Meaney, and this is going to get overturned. I'll be very surprised if this gets confirmed. Whoops.
Oh, well done.
Whoa!
Yes.
Try confirmed.
Hey, the fix is on.
The fix is in. Speaking of fixing, I got to fix my monitor. Michelle says Meaney deserved it. But yes, as we know, she really, really hates the Storm. Nathan Cleary from the opposite touchline this time. Moves in, strikes it perfectly. It's going to hold its line. And Penrith lead 18 points to 4. Mel says, I don't like the Wars thing either. And an ex-Warrior asked the whole team what they preferred. Up the Wars or Let's Go Warriors. It was mostly Let's Go Warriors. Of course it would be. But, look, as a player, and my personal opinion, Warriors. If you call the Warriors, you want to be known as the Warriors. So I totally get it. But at the same time, from a marketing perspective, this thing's just caught on, hasn't it? So I can understand them running with it. Them being the powers that be in charge of all the marketing and whatnot. Shack of Hearts says, Shack of Hearts, don't even, mate, honestly, don't even try and reason with Michelle over anything Melbourne Storm related. She thinks that Cameron Munster's a crap player. She'd have him at the Broncos in a heartbeat. I mean, love or hate the Storm, Cameron Munster, he's having a quiet night tonight, but he's a fantastic player. Just don't even bother, Shackleton. Don't even try and reason with her. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work. And the Panthers get through this set of 6 after points. And they seem a little bit deflated here. The Storm. Michelle wouldn't say no to that. What's that, Wilma? Munster under the sheets. A little bit of Munster under the sheets. I've got a Cameron Munster story at halftime. The moment that I really, really felt sorry for the poor guy. Taruva under the high ball. Takes it as he's falling to ground. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half. Panthers up 18 points to 4. Slow play the ball. No penalty. Edwards has been kept pretty quiet on attack. He's been getting involved, though. Doing the hard yards, as he always does. Yo up to halfway. Post-contact meters again from Yo. Almost gets away from Harry Grant. Fifth and last, Luai puts the kick up. How's the chase? Taruva chasing through. It's been cleared in the air by the referee. Ambrose Papuna says, yes, it's Panthers. We will meet Warriors at grand final. The Warriors have got to get over Suncorp first. Notice I say they've got to get over Suncorp, not the Broncos. There's just something about that bloody ground for some reason. Oh, now straight through goes Will Warbrick into space. One to beat. And Dylan Edwards, Mr. Reliable at the back. Fifth and last Melbourne, but look at the numbers to burn if they go through the hands. There's gaps everywhere. Tungo's got to defend 5. Oh, it's gone forward from Munster, but they get a penalty here, Melbourne. Oh, no, they don't. It's just the referee very, very slowly calling a forward pass. Oh, they had a 72-on-1 overlap to the left, and they've butchered it. The step from Warbrick, the rugby union convert. And look at this. They had them absolutely destroyed out there. And Nick Meaney throws it. And it has gone so far forward. It floated further forward just to make it look all the worse. But they have absolutely butchered that there. Oh, can we please get a camera on Craig Bellamy right now? Please. Too many mistakes for the Storm. Crichton keeps the ball alive. That's Scrappy out the back. Getting a bit loose there, the Panthers. 6 minutes to go to the break. You feel like they might throw everything at this. Cleary out the back to Edwards. To Tongo. They've created an overlap again, but the sliding defense gets there. Fifth and last. 20 out from the line. Cleary puts it high. They've been secure under the high ball tonight, Melbourne. Tap back from Hughes. It's going to be 6 again. No, still the last. Jerome Hughes touched that, surely. Maybe that's a square up. And the little stab kick through. Harry Grant collects it. Passes it back to Nick B. Jerome Hughes surely touched that. Am I seeing things? 5.5 minutes to go until the halftime break. From dummy half, Harry Grant goes straight through the middle, looking for support, but like a thief in the night, Nathan Cleary intercepts the ball running backwards. And once again, Melbourne, it's just that not linking up with the defense. The pass probably wasn't on. And now a penalty to Penrith. Oh, Melbourne are just self-destructing here. Cleary calming things down. A penalty on halfway. Take the 2. If this was rugby union, they could kick from that far out. Anyway, into touch it goes. Panthers, full set of 6. 30 metres out. Halloween is close, Michelle. And if only I had a really cool hat to wear for the Halloween stream. Unfortunately, I don't. I got eBayed. Big time eBayed. Luai stepping, weaving. Oh, I know, Shack of Hearts, I know. But it's all good. There's going to be some good games of Union on this weekend. Yes. Luai in midfield, stepping, gets through. Almost. taken down, and he's shoved in the back. Cleary out the back to nobody. Can the Panthers dive on the loose ball? They can. Cleary regathers his own pass. Running back into midfield, pops it out to nobody. It's just got a bit loose here at the back end of this first half. Fifth and last, do they take a field goal? Just for a laugh. No, Cleary goes high. Perfectly placed, pressure on the take. Oh, this time it's a penalty. I don't know what was so different from that to the last one. But this time it's a penalty. Jeez, honestly, I would have said that Tungo had more eyes for the ball than Taruva did in the last one that wasn't called. Me, personally. But that's the one that got penalised. It's all a bit of a lottery, though, isn't it, really?
In that situation.
Hmm.
I think because he actually ended up behind the player, probably.
Yeah, probably. Fair enough, Shack of Hearts. Fair enough. Shack of Hearts says, I saw the replay. His eyes went from contesting the ball to making a tackle. Melbourne up over halfway here. A couple of tackles up their sleeve. Putting it through the hands out to the left. Olam feeds it on to Coates. Remus Smith. I'm just so used to Xavier Coates being out there. Remus Smith. They're just going side to side at the moment, the Storm, without earning the right. Fifth and last. Munster. Off the left foot, puts it high. To'o plants himself under it, runs forward, loses it. And it's a knock on, and a minute and a half to go till the break. A minute and a half to go, and a chance for some much needed points for Melbourne. It's been knocked on from To'o. And Melbourne will get the last say of this first half. A minute to go. Scrum down, 10 out, right in front of the posts. Wilmer says Tungo is a weakness in defence for the Panthers. He certainly has been so far tonight. From the scrum, Storm, go right. Wrap around play with Grant. Seve nearly gets through. And he's dumped down a metre out. The Panthers' goal line defence has been solid all season long. Can they hold on here? This could be huge in terms of the momentum of the game. Grant to the short side. They're all over that, the Panthers. 18-4 they lead. 10 out, Hughes. Out to Munster. They've got the numbers here and they've made another mistake. And it is just not the Melbourne Storm of old, is it? It's just not the Melbourne Storm of old, and they are all over nice guy, Mr. Nick Meaney, tonight. It's ironic that a guy called Nick Meaney would actually be a nice fella. But they're all over him tonight, aren't they? Letting him know about it. It wasn't even his mistake, that one. Old mate on the wing just couldn't add poor hands there.
For bad-mouthing Meaney.
He was mean to Nick Meaney, and he got a warning. As the halftime siren sounds, 18 points to 4. Old Panther, how are the nerves?
Yeah. Well, I'm still not secure.
Still not convinced.
But the defence has been exceptional, hasn't it?
Apart from Tungo, yeah.
And that was only once, really, wasn't it?
Oh, he's been... They've been attacking that channel a lot, and there's meters to be made out there.
And that might not be a bad thing. He's getting his practice.
Getting the practice in and getting away with it. What's going on here? Neither side wants to be the first one to walk off the field. Have you ever seen anything like this? The Panthers are refusing to leave the field first, and Melbourne are dilly-dallying around. Now they go. There we go. I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, a dominant first half display here from the Penrith Panthers. And they are full value for their lead at halftime, 18 points to 4. Shakafart says, I do feel somewhat bad for Nick Meaney. That being said, I don't think he should take the law into his own hands. Well, absolutely not. You should never take the law into your own hands. Anyways, Wasted Water Sports, we're going to have ourselves a quick break for halftime here as well. We'll be right back after this to cover the first half action and get ready for the second half as the Panthers are on the brink of another grand final appearance. Can they do it? 40 minutes to go. We'll be back right after this on the Wasted World of Sports. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wasted Water Sports. Half time here. 18 points to 4. The Panthers are on the brink of another grand final appearance. I tipped this one, but what I didn't tip was very well throughout the entire season. So far, Wasted Water Sports, can we have a round of applause in the chat room for the old Panther, who has got an insurmountable lead now in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. Even if things go completely balls up for the Panthers from here, insurmountable lead in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. The old Panther has won. I'm currently in 10th. But good job. How do you feel about that?
Well,
Good.
listen, I wasn't confident with a few weeks to go.
Yep.
But,
I told you though, didn't I?
well, yeah.
Oh, they haven't won the comp yet though.
But I hung in there. Still kept tipping Penrith.
I think that for me, winning last year to finish in the top 10 this year is still a decent enough result. But what I'm most disappointed about is, and we need everybody in the chat room to realise this as well. I always own up to my bets. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good call, actually. Let me switch that off while Dad's there. It looked like I had my leaderboard behind your camera, and Michelle's just pointed out, rightfully so, that it looks like your name is Andrew O'Grady. But anyways, I always own up to my bets. Now, we had a little bit of a wager going on about who was going to finish higher in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest, which I believe was for $50, wasn't it?
500.
500. I was hoping
this 50 business. We're high rollers.
I was hoping that you wouldn't remember. So, anyways, as a man of my word, I will 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks, son. That's
Congratulations.
well deserved. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations once again. The old Panther, the Intoxi Dad, winner of the Wasted World of Sports tipping contest for season 2023.
And worthy winner, I might add.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, son.
Can I borrow $500?
What? Oh, there.
Thank you. Congratulations, though, still.
Yeah, well, it's a hollow victory. I did have plans for that.
No. Sorry. Same bet next year?
Double or nothing.
Double. Congratulations, though, in all seriousness. You're storming out in the lead, insurmountable now. You could go for anything now for the remainder of the games and not be passed.
Well, I've gone for the Warriors.
So have I. But that is to try and hopefully make some ground up, get a little bit further into that top 10 before the season is over. But anyways, halftime here, 18 points to 4 in favour of the Panthers. I'm actually very interested. Let's check out some stats.
Check to play the ball speed. That because
that's something.
Storm have been trying to hold them down.
So let's have a look. Let's get some key statistics to the game so far. So the Panthers ended up turning possession around. 54% possession. This is a huge one. Huge one. 95% completion rate for the Panthers. 22 out of 23. And look at Melbourne. 64% completion rate. That's been killing them. Play the ball speed. Average play the ball speed. Panthers 3.51 seconds. Melbourne 3.13 seconds.
That's only an average.
That's only the average, yes.
So they were trying to slow them down. Yeah.
And what was the other one that I wanted to look at? Territory. If that's a thing. As the teams are coming back out onto the field for the second half, they don't have territory on the NRL website. I find that ridiculous. But anyway.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that the Storm started to play catch-up football too early?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, very much. Like, there were a couple of scenarios there where they were just willy-nilly going left, then back to the right, and then back out to the left again. Just nothing. They didn't earn the right to go wide. It's the same across both codes, rugby union, rugby league, no matter what you're watching. You have to earn the right to go wide in both games. That's where the similarities of the two cross over. You have to earn the right to go wide. And Melbourne were just sort of throwing caution to the wind a few times there, I thought. Inevitably, they came up with mistakes, and that's contributed to their measly, what was it? I said 64%. You're not going to be in the game of footy with 64% completion rate, no matter who you're playing. They would lose to the Tigers with a 64% completion rate. I think I answered the question. I think I answered the question.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Your usual in-depth analysis.
Second half underway. The whistle has blown. Let's go. Panthers. They are on the verge of another grand final appearance. The dynasty rolls on. 40 minutes. Has Craig Bellamy put the rocket up him? I'm sure he has. But is it going to pay dividends at the end? Let's find out. Tackle for Melbourne, up to halfway. Complete the first set. I bet that was all that was said at halftime. Completion rate definitely would have been a topic in the sheds. And I'm sure Bellamy just said, get through the first set. Whether we make 5 meters or 50. And they have made 50, 55 to be precise. Just get through the first set. That's step one of the second half. That's what I would have said anyway, if I were the coach. It's still the fifth and last. And Penrith dive on the loose ball. And somehow Spencer Leniu has held onto this ball. Done extremely well on the ground there. And it's Penrith ball. Normal business resumes. Crichton bringing it out of territory. Are we excited for the internationals coming up? I'm excited because it gives us content to keep going on with even after the season's done. Fifth and last now, Panthers, just shy of the halfway line. I reckon New Zealand are going to have an extremely strong squad going into this one. Some quality players there. Both teams get through their first set. Jerome Luai's been holding up all right. I don't want to jinx it. I still feel like he's favouring. Well, was it his left shoulder that got injured? I still feel like he's favouring a little bit. That could just be a nuance in his stance, though. Oh, now it's loose by the... Oh, and Craig Bellamy is going to be furious because the second set of 6 for the Storm, and they've come up with an error. And this is great field position now for the Panthers to just stick the knife in a little bit deeper. Luai up over halfway, testing that shoulder out again. He's definitely favouring a shoulder, isn't he? I'm not just seeing things. I don't think he's 100%. Tackle 4 now. Loose ball. Bounces kindly for the Panthers. And Sorensen Takes it 30 out. Fifth and last. Cleary in midfield. Puts it high. There'll be no pressure on the take back here. And it should be back to the 20 for a tap and go. Oh, and he's been pulled there. He's been pulled back. And Liam Martin could be in a bit of strife here. That was just silly from Liam Martin. You don't expect that from him. Oh, the challenge something. Maybe that's why he did it. I thought they were cracking down on blatant foul play in order to allow time for a captain's challenge. If this captain's challenge fails, Liam Martin could be in a bit of strife. Oh, Nick Meaney! Nick Meaney! Oh! Nick Meaney has just gone goofed. What a goof. T-shirt now available at poptillyoudrop.com.au. He didn't get his foot down on the line, and that is why Liam Martin has done what I thought was extremely uncharacteristic of him. There was actually a method to his madness there.
Wasn't much in it, was there?
No. Very, very smart captain's challenge there. That challenge has probably saved Liam Martin's bacon 100 shank-a-farts. Craig Bellamy looks very forlorn up there in the coach's box. He looks like a man who has already admitted and accepted defeat, in all honesty. But still, a long way to go in a game of footy. And it is Melbourne. Quick play the ball. Harry Grant looking to dart. He's been wrapped up and taken down on halfway. He's been told to get up and play it. Trying to milk a penalty. And Jerome Hughes puts the kick in. Taruva under it. Always secure under the high ball, Taruva. And he beats the first up tackle to make some post-contact meters. Penrith just grinding this one out now. That's the thing about the Panthers. They don't care if they win by 14 or 40. Michelle says our mate Ian, he's going to have a fit if both his teams lose tonight. CPTA Australia, ahoy! I'll say the same. Hang on, I'll put his microphone on so he can respond. CPTA Australia says, I'll say the same statement as before, the last time he was here. How's the young one on the bottom? Your camera's underneath mine on the screen.
Right. Well, I'm still a bit nervous. But
yeah, you're not convinced yet? 18-4?
Oh, no, well, I think they'll grind it out. I think the last time they played, Penrith was in front by 20 or something at half time, weren't they? And they just ground out the second half and didn't win by much more, I think, that game. So I think that's what they'll do now.
Yeah, I think the queue's in the rack, potentially. But that's the thing about the Panthers. The queue will stay in the rack, but they can still whip it out whenever they need it.
Yeah.
As soon as they feel slightly threatened, bang, it's game back on again.
They got through a set.
Penrith with the ball as Harry Grant plugs it into touch. ICC Cricket World Cup starting October 5. I have committed to doing some of the run chases in the Cricket World Cup. I honestly don't think I could get through an entire game. But I have committed to doing some of the run chases in the better games. Oh, To'o goes straight through. To'o's still going. He's brought down from behind from Munster. Munster going for the strip. He loves a good strip, does Cameron Munster. But To'o holds on to the ball. And Penrith on the back of that break. Now space in behind. Cleary puts the kick in behind into the end goal. And Warbrick has no choice but to tap it dead. And that's great vision from Nathan Cleary. Great result for the Panthers. All off the back of this break from To'o. Straight through two forwards. Tarek Sims and Christian Welsh. One of the smallest guys on the field has just gone straight through two of the biggest. Knocked them on their butts. That was an incredible run from Brian To'o. They go short here, surely, Melbourne. Short dropout. There it is, short dropout. It has not gone 10. It's not gone 10. They've played at it, though, the Panthers, but he's played at it inside the 10-metre line and given away a penalty. Oh, you great big galoot. Who was that? Isaiah Yeo, I think it was it? And they're letting him know about it anyway, the Storm players. Isaiah Yeo has just had the brain explosion of all brain explosions there. What a goof. What a let-off from Melbourne. Shaq of Heart says, I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know that was a rule. I think it's a pretty stupid rule, to be honest. In rugby union, if the ball doesn't go the distance and you choose to play at it as the defending, or as the receiving team, it's play on. I don't understand why it's a penalty. They fail to kick at the distance. It should be your choice whether you play on or not at that point. Now, Munster's passed it out the back to nobody, and it just continues to be scrappy here from Melbourne. They secure the loose ball, and it's the fifth and last. They'll have another chance. Munster puts it perfectly, and Luai, Jerome Luai, the shoulder holds up. He is up there, reaching above his head, really testing that shoulder out. He's been defending. He's now jumping up and taking high balls. That shoulder is definitely getting put through the motions. And he's coming up trumps. $18 points to 4. It remains approaching the 10-minute mark of this second half. Sorensen on the charge. Gets the offload away. Panthers keep it alive. Yo, running back into midfield. Fifth and last. Oh, he's offside there, Munster, for sure. And that gives Cleary time. Gets it into space, in behind the line, and it will dribble over the touchline. And oh, sorry. Oops. Oh, God, I've made a complete mess of everything. All right. Just the grinding play.
They just choke the other side, don't they? Once they get on top.
Yep, they've built that 14-point lead, and now they're just, hey, we'll pin you down here. You run at us. We'll defend. And it was very smart from Cleary as well, because to react that quickly, Munster being called off by the referee because he was going to kick left. He was shaping to kick left. Munster got called off. He went, you know what? I'll take my time now. I'll use Cameron Munster as a human shield and kick the opposite way. Incredibly intelligent play. Heads-up play by Nathan Cleary. Taruva secure as ever under the high ball. $29 minutes, 10 seconds left. That's all that's standing between the Panthers and another grand final appearance. As Fisher Harris lurking on the sideline. I don't know whether he's just come off the field or he's getting ready to come back on. But by the fact he was sucking in the big ones and chugging down some water, I would say that he's just come off. Oh, big charge from Sorensen. The post-contact meters again. Has Big Nelson been back out yet? Bellamy must be holding him back for the last quarter of the match. Meaney passing across. Remus Smith had nowhere to go. Olam into contact. 30 metres out from their own line here, the Storm. Oh, he has returned? Cool. Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil, there he is. He has only just come back on, though. Coming on for Christian Welsh. The beast has been released. Jerome Hughes puts it high. Not a lot of distance. Melbourne win it back and then lose it forward. And now, space here for Edwards. Can he get away from the first tackle? He can. But he's taken down. Will says if Panthers haven't scored yet, I'm predicting a Storm comeback. No, Penrith are they're just controlling this game, Will. They're not going to overplay their hand. As I said earlier, Panthers, they don't care if they win by 14 or 40. They've got the lead now. They are just going to control the flow of this game. Keep Melbourne pinned down. And don't worry, they will go up another couple of gears if they feel they need to. And at the moment, they just don't need to. Luai, dummies left, cuts back across the opposite side of the field, links up with Martin. Martin has a go at Munster, shrugs him off, support inside, and here's the try. Oh, just like that, Will. They've gone snap. Nathan Cleary scores. Liam Martin has just made a complete goose out of Cameron Munster.
Beast.
And the old Panthers excited about that one. Liam Martin has just gone straight over the top of Cameron Munster with the big don't argue. There was nothing doing here. Nothing doing at all for the Panthers. Luai just running cross field. Liam Martin says, Cameron Munster, I'll have you on, mate. And then ranging up in midfield in support, Nathan Cleary untouched. That is the game. I'm willing to call it. I don't think he's
You can't because we've got the advertisers to worry about.
No, see, we don't worry about advertisers here. On the that's what I talk about all the time. On the TV, they obviously have to make it sound like a comeback could be on. The game is still alive. Me, here on YouTube, I can tell it exactly how it is. That's game over.
This young bloke's phenomenal. Liam Martin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's because I'm extremely loud, Michelle, and I come through both microphones. Oh, unless it's the Sharks, they could still lose from here for sure. Well, they would lose from this point.
They were the only home team to lose in the first
round
of the playoffs.
Well, that's unsurprising. I wish I could say that I was shocked, but... Cleary from right beside the post. His easiest conversion of the night happened to be his own try. Well, it looks like my $10 is gone. That all transpired before you arrived. I put $10 for a $15 stake. No, $10 stake for a $15 odds on extra time. Yeah. That's not happening. Will says the Warriors will be in trouble next week. If they can miraculously beat the Broncos, it would be a miracle. Oh, sorry. My apologies.
I was listening to the ABC on the way over, and Luke Lewis reckoned that the Warriors were the more likely team to cause the upset.
Oh, they're in again here, the Panthers. Once again, you're about to launch into story. Once again, you are about to launch into story, and the Panthers have just blitzed them.
We'll have to keep talking.
And that was just way too simple. Just support play. Left, right, everywhere.
How much room did he have over on the wing?
So much space. Stephen Crichton holding up the defenders. The flick pass to Taruva, inside to Dylan Edwards. And this is just a clinic now from the Panthers. Expect the cue to well and truly go in the rack now. Grand final bound once again. We're still a little bit far out. To, I reckon get Luai off the field though. Get Luai off, put Cogger on.
Yeah.
Put Luai on ice. Unbelievable. Panthers putting on a show now, playing for fun. And there's still 23 minutes to go. Luai's still out there. Plop, ahoy there. You just turned it on. And what a demolition you've turned into. The Panthers just controlling this contest. Pretty much from the opening try. Cleary moves in, puts it right down the middle again. 30 points to 4. Melbourne, is this Melbourne's worst finals campaign ever? When you think about it and put it into context. Spanked by the Broncos in week 1. Spanked by the Panthers. Now, is this Melbourne's worst ever finals campaign?
Well, it could well be. I don't know the statistics on that one.
Short.
They haven't. I was saying they've only played Penrith once in a preliminary final game. There you go. You called it.
Oh, there he is, Jack Cogger. Who's it going to be? They're either going to put Cleary on ice or Luai.
Reckon?
Somebody's going on ice. Not in that way. And it's Luai. Luai's off. Ah. I should be a coach.
Good. Yeah.
Huh? I called that. Minutes ago.
Nelson again.
Nelson's still into it. Nelson's still trying to arc up. And he's on report. No. Mohammed Dahan, go Panthers from PNG. David Stevens says, you ripper, go the Panthers. Dropped the knees in there, Big Nelson. And now he's involved, shoving down on the head. Oh, he's getting sent off. There's still 20 minutes to go. Nelson is going to get sent off in this one. He's lost the plot. He has absolutely lost the plot as Big Nelson. He is just out to injure people now. Stephen Crichton has not scored yet, I don't believe. UFC. Yet. Plenty more tries left in the Panthers as Cleary runs across field. Oh, they read that play out the back. Oh, Cleary, get up. I think he was just frustrated at himself. I thought he was hurt. See, honestly, I probably would have kept Luai out there and put Cleary on ice. Fifth and last. Yo runs it to the line. Dummy by Cleary. No support that he could get the offload to. And that'll be the handover. Oh, he's busted open. Nathan Cleary is busted open from the eye. Oh, Nelson's involved again. Get him off. Nelson's got to go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that we've been talking about it in this chat. We want to see hard contests and everything, but I'm sorry, Nelson's got to go before he kills somebody. He has completely lost his head out there, Nelson. Nathan Cleary's going to be forced from the field, I would dare say, for this. Shoulder to the head, it's busted him open. It surely has to be HIA. And that could be the moment. Oh, he's still out there, though. Still out there at the moment. Oh, now Justin Olm wants a challenge. And they do challenge it. Cameron Munster. Oh, Shack of Hearts absolutely would have been sent off in Union. For sure. Jonathan Manson, ahoy! Panthers over Broncos. Oh, challenge successful. Jonathan Manson says, so Panthers over Broncos 15-4 at Suncorp. May 18th, maybe a similar score in the grand final. I reckon if the Broncos even make it, I think it'll be a little bit more cozy than that. The Panthers all season long have just done all that they've needed to do. The scary thing about this team, in my opinion, 97% completion rate for this entire contest is unreal. But I honestly think they've got so many more gears that we haven't even seen yet. And if there is a moment in the grand final, a single moment where they feel threatened at all, we'll see those gears revealed. I don't think they'll be under threat, though, no matter who they're playing. Broncos, Warriors, this Panther side is just heads and tails above. They're playing within themselves at the moment and just dominating every facet of this contest. As Edwards gets the loose ball. Oh, Cameron Munster's gone for the steal again. There's two in the tackle there. He can't do that. And there's a mistake. It's Isaac Tungo. Isaac Tungo has been, now granted, as I've found out that it's his first game back in a while, so you've got to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt for that. But I would have to say, as harsh as it may be, Tungo's been the weak link tonight for the Panthers. And it hasn't really cost them anything, but definitely compared to the rest of the squad. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Olam gets past Tungo again. He needs the practice, apparently, it seems. Karma Chameleon in midfield. How are you going, old Panther? You must be pretty...
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good now.
Pretty good now, yep.
Yeah,
I think... Oh, and now it's loose. And the Panthers will pick it up. And now they're running away upfield. Taruva.
They just frustrate the opposition, don't they? And
That's
the
it.
mistakes.
Yep. Forcing the errors. Zero tackle. Crichton now with the loose ball. Was it touched by the Storm, though? Yes. No. Maybe. Who knows? At 30 points to 4 with 17 to go, I don't think anyone cares either. The referee certainly didn't seem to care to... Oh, Leota bumps off Harry Grant. To the left they go. Crichton's getting more involved, UFC. I'm assuming that you've got him in a multi or something. He's getting more heavily involved now. 20 out from the line here, the Panthers. Cogger to Edwards. Edwards trying to beat Munster. Fifth and last. 10 out from the line here, the Panthers. Cleary puts a little grubber in, looking for the post, just missing. And Jerome Hughes is swamped and tackled back into the end goal. Clearly looking for the post there, Cleary. That was an amazing little sequence of play. Blake Lyons has asked, can we get Mum on the live stream?
I don't think they'd want her on here. You reckon you have trouble with Michelle?
she'd be at the back reading a book or something. Attempting a short dropout this time, overcompensating was Munster, and the Panthers have the ball. 10 out, 16 minutes left in this one. More points for the Panthers, you suspect. Fisher Harris on the inside run. Oh, the kick in behind the line, trying to fight through. And it's tapped dead, but it's another result.
I reckon this bloke might be refereeing the grand final.
Adam G, you would hope so. Ashley Klein can't get it, surely. Ashley Klein cannot get the grand final gig. Surely. No, Michelle, he was saying that Mum would be more trouble than you on the live stream. Mum's very, like, she doesn't understand the game. So she's very like, oh, that's terrible. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's nasty. All that sort of stuff. So it could actually be a laugh. Melbourne with the ball, though. 14 and a half minutes to go. Grant across to Munster. Olam one-on-one with Tungo again. Steps inside him. It's loose. To'o's nearly away. He's just pulled down by the back of the jersey. He was nearly off again there. Isaac To'o. Brian To'o. Edwards in midfield, running backwards now. So confident of the Panthers. They're willing to give up 10 metres. 10 errors to 4. Sums it up, really. The errors, the completion rate. Nelson. Oh, careful, Nelson. Jeez. He seems to have calmed down a little bit. Hang on, was that Nelson? Yes, it was. Quick play the ball. 6 again. 6 more. Pressure on Melbourne. Markers not square, and Kenny took full advantage. Oh, they are not in the least bit. We thought that they might, but they are not in the least bit missing Api Coruscant, although there's an error. There's a mistake. Uncharacteristic for the Panthers. But yes, we wondered how the Panthers would go without Coruscant, without Kikau. They're doing just fine. Mitch Kenny has stepped up. Sonny Luke did his role perfectly when he was involved. It's just a production line there at the foot of the mountain. Player after player after player. Sorry?
Penrith's named team.
Oh, they're yep.
Apparently, only one player in that team, in their top 13, had played for another club.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Well, that'd be Sorensen, I'd say, from Cronulla, wouldn't it?
Ah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that he was... That he was the... They're only my boys when they're winning. So... 2016 is the only time ever. Fifth and last now, Melbourne. 40 out from their own line. Hughes not going for distance again. It's shallow. They've let it bounce. It's bounced into the back of Olam. And that'll be a handover and Panthers ball. Harry Grant wants a challenge. Harry Grant calls the captain's challenge. It looked pretty straightforward to me off the back of Olam. Panthers collect the ball. I'm really surprised, actually. Really surprised that Nathan Cleary was not yanked off by the independent doctor after that shoulder to the face.
I was wrong. They were onside.
Shove in the back on Tungo. He's perfectly entitled to hold his ground there. Off the elbow of Olam. Now, has Cleary got a touch on it? No, it's tapped back here by Storm. Tapped back. Still no touch from the Panthers. So that's fifth and last. Challenge gone. Panthers ball. Blake Lyons asks if the other team's in Las Vegas, can we still watch it if it was in Las Vegas? I have no idea what you've just asked me. I'm sorry. Poots, ahoy there. Panther machine just keeps rolling on. Three-peat, here we come. And to be perfectly honest, we all know my theory on this. Welcome along, Poots, by the way. But we all know my theory on this. Panthers would be going for 4 in a row if Cameron Smith weren't retiring a few years ago. It's as simple as that. They should already have their three-peat and be going for 4, but I digress. They'll probably get it anyway, so who cares, really? They'll probably get it. Michelle always cares when it comes to the Storm. Yes, as Isaiah Yeo goes through, Harry Grant just holds on to his ankles and brings him down. A couple of tackles up the sleeve. Now Cleary out the back to Tungo, to To'o. It's slick. It's perfection. Talk about the machine rolling on. Easy as you like. Bring on the subs. Bring them all on. Get Cleary off the field. Check his head out.
I reckon that was his try.
Yeah, this all started from Isaiah Yeo. That's where it all began. Perfect. To'o gets 3.
And the difference with Kenny in dummy half, at the start of the year, the Penrith supporters were going crook about him. And if you watched his play, he was just about always taking a step and then passing. And now he's developed. And he just scoops that ball up and gets it out.
Just fires it off immediately.
Just gives you that much extra time, doesn't it?
Just to all good. $34 points to 4. Kick to come. Another just slick. Easy as you like, backline movement there from the Panthers. To'o on the receiving end. They have lit up that right hedge tonight. 3 for To'o. 3 at least. Might even be more. No, it is 3. 3 for To'o. Taruva, Cleary, Edwards. The only try scorer for Melbourne. Justin Olam in the 10th minute. Cleary moves in. He's had a lot of conversion practice tonight. And this one's on target as well. 36 points to 4. It's been an absolute rout. Poots says, I think I played casual touch game with To'o a few years ago when he was a junior Panther. There you go. That's pretty cool. And I'd also be very thankful it was only a game of touch. I wouldn't want... He's not the biggest player running around in the NRL. But my God, he is obviously he's obviously a solid unit. I mean, earlier tonight when he just Tarek Sims and Christian Wells, 2 big forwards, and he just Unbelievable. Just charged right through both of them. 9 minutes to go. The Panthers well and truly home. Do they want more points? Does the Q go in the rack? The scary thing about this Panthers side is I still believe they've got a few gears left. There's a few levels they can still go to that they've been holding in reserve. We've seen glimpses of it, is the thing. Small examples that we've seen throughout the course of the season. When they've needed to, they just go bang and click when they need to, when they're under threat. And I feel like whoever they play in the grand final could be on the receiving end of, like, we could be breaking out the record books sort of material. Because I think this team has so... Injuries aside, like really horror injuries aside, I think that they've just got so many more levels to go to that nobody else in the competition would be capable of going with. 36 points to 4, though. 8 minutes left. Melbourne with the ball. Can they get some consolation? Some sort of... just something.
Not that I'd ever question Ivan Cleary, but I agree with you. I think I'd be giving Nathan a rest.
Oh, 100%. He copped that. He copped that blow to the eye, busted him open. I'd put him on ice for sure. Who have they got on the interchange? They don't really have anybody, I suppose, but I guess. I mean, who cares? The game's over. Kick in behind the line. Melbourne get the second touch on it. Taruva's there to swoop on it. Oh, body. That was wrestling. Body. Ultimate Warrior splash. Now that's Jack Cogger finding space, and he's taken high. Penalty to the Panthers. Warbrick puts his hand. Look at the size of Warbrick compared to Cogger. There was only one way that was honestly going to go, though. Look at the size of that human being. Will Warbrick. A man with that name, it should be illegal that he is so big. He is just monster Jack Cogger. That was only ever going to go one way. Look at the size of that human being. Penalty, though, as you would expect. And the Panthers up over halfway. Great leg drive there from Crichton. 6.5 minutes to go. Garner's on the field. Yo at the back to Cleary. Double pumps it out to Edwards. Tungo to To'o. Not into space this time. Melbourne finally wise to that play down the right-hand edge. Panthers can reset, though, and reload. Yo to Garner. Garner into contact. Dumped on his back. Tackle 4. 6 minutes to go. Tackles up the sleeve. Cleary. Back in field it goes. And offside there, the Storm. No, it's a shoulder charge. Just dropping the shoulder in, Seve. Take the 2. Take the 2. Take the... Oh, it's... Oh, they're firing up again. They're firing up again in midfield. It's been... certainly been threatening to explode a few times here tonight. Here's the shoulder charge. Replay clear as day. Clear as day. You can't drop the shoulder. You can't. You just can't do that. $36 points to 4. A penalty from right out in front. Take the 2, I say. Why not at this point? I think they are. Actually, Nathan Cleary's got the kicking tee. Yes! Oh, the promotion just writes itself. They are taking the 2. $36 points to 4. 5 minutes to go. It's about to be 38 for Nathan Cleary, just having some in-game kicking practice. Shack of Heart says, I don't mean to accuse the Storm of doing this because it could be nothing more than coincidence. Hang on, what? What are we accusing them of? From right in front, a gift, 2 points, and the Panthers say, thank you very much, we will take it. Tarek Sims, what a gentleman, picked up Cleary's kicking tee for him. Oh, okay, there was more to come. The Shack of Hearts has said, I don't mean to accuse the Storm of doing this because it could be nothing more than coincidence, but the Storm have gotten a little dirty in their play ever since the game was gone.
Yeah, I'd do it because they'd have some mates in Brisbane.
Yeah, well, they're all...
And Warriors, wouldn't they?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Big Nelson was a pretty clear-cut example of that, in all honesty. Nelson, in my opinion, it seemed pretty clear he had an objective. Oh, what's happened?
Metal Maiden, is
Oh,
it?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Yeah, Shack of Hearts, ever since the game was gone, she says. How about ever since the Storm was a thing?
Well done, Michelle.
There you go. The old Panther approves of that one, Michelle. Panthers with... Oh, sorry.
What?
Oh,
I was just going to say, I hate the Storm as well.
Not as much as she does, I bet. There's a mistake from the Panthers. They're challenging it. Why not? Why not at this point? Al Urus, ahoy! How you doing, mate? Panthers with the captain's challenge. I think they're on a hiding to nothing on this one. All those, a cheeky little hand there, slapping the ball out. They might actually win this one, the Panthers. They're winning on the captain's challenges as well. Oh, they can do no wrong tonight, Penrith. They can do no wrong. No wonder they're laughing it up. They're all off to the casino after this. Barnabas Stephen, ahoy there. OMG. What is going on with the Storm? They've been spanked a couple of times in this final series, haven't they, Melbourne? A very uncharacteristic finals campaign for Craig Bellamy's men. Garner up over halfway for the Panthers, though, on the back of that penalty. 3.5 minutes to go. Does Nathan Cleary want some more kicking practice? Out the back to Edwards. Tungo. Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Siri, but thank you for whatever that was that you just shared with me. 5 line breaks to 0 in the second half. Oh, Yo met in midfield in big contact from Katoa. Rolling Stone says, guess the Storm blew itself out before they got on the field. Then through the gap and lost forward by the Panthers. They were on again there. Michelle says, I think you missed it earlier. It was 1999. That's when my hatred developed. When they won and declared themselves Rugby League capital of the world. The cheek! That's when I declared my hatred. What about you, old Panther? Your dislike of the Storm.
Oh, well, they're playing Penrith.
That's all it takes. Easy peasy. Melbourne with the 2 minutes to go in this game. Melbourne with the ball. Munster to Meaney. Meaney goes straight through Nick Meaney. Can they get a consolation try? Oh, Dylan Edwards is across. Mr. Reliable. Does just enough to slow his opposite down. Plenty of tackles up the sleeves. The queue is well and truly in the rack. Don't you worry about it. The Panthers, even if Melbourne swoop here and score a consolation try, the queue was well and truly put back in the rack. And here they go to the right-hand edge. Seve keeps it alive. Warbrick fends off and then falls over.
Oh,
yep.
In all seriousness, the salary cap breach.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, and
And they still parade those trophies around. They still parade the trophies around, even though they won them illegally. Fifth and last here for Melbourne, and it's all so scrappy again. It's loose. It's so uncharacteristic. Yeah, it's interesting. Inside the last minute of play, if both teams agree,
tell it like that.
yeah, Cameron Munster
tripping over
his own goofy feet. Not happening, Michelle. Not happening at all. Michelle has suggested that we should stream the last quarter of the AFL. I said, not happening. Not happening. Shack of Hearts says this defensive set proves beyond a shadow of a doubt why Penrith are the team to beat. The game is won and they're still playing like it's tied and headed to Golden Point. 6 seconds to go. That will be all she wrote.
Fourth consecutive grand final.
4 grand finals in a row. Take a bow, Ivan Cleary. Coach of the year for sure. I don't understand why this is even in debate year after year. They keep giving it to coaches who I understand the theory. Like the Cowboys went from wooden spooners to on the brink of a grand final appearance. Todd Payton wins the coach of the year last year. They're talking about Webster being the front runner. 3 in a row, about to be 4. Like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it just depends on their criteria.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, surely
Andrew Woods has done a good job.
He has, but I mean, if they don't win 3 in a row, I don't know. It does my head in personally.
What's the record-breaking win?
Panthers dominate Storm in record-breaking win. I think probably definitely their biggest margin in a finals game.
Possibly, yeah.
Rolling Stone says Panthers just too hungry and want to be there next week, and they are there next week. It is confirmed, 38 points to 4. The Panthers have got the win in dominant style over the Melbourne Storm. It was impressive. Panthers all the way from start to finish. Unbelievable stuff. All right, Wasted World of Sports. I do apologise if I don't do too much of a post-game tonight because I'm absolutely exhausted. It's been a huge, huge week of work. Old Panther, anything that you would like to chime in with about the game tonight before we wind down?
Well, I think we just saw the how important the forward packs are in especially in finals football. They right from when I was a lad, the commentators have always said that it's the forwards that win the big games, and I think they've just showed it again.
Yeah, that replay there, Liam Martin,
yeah,
straight through.
They provide the go forward and the space, and then you get somebody as clever as Cleary and Luai hanging around there just behind them. Anything can happen, and it does.
How good was that call of mine though to hook Luai and put him on ice?
Yeah, I got to hand it to you. They probably heard you. Probably
I think so. Yeah.
In.
Yeah, Ivan Cleary was actually up in the coach's box listening in.
Yeah. I have heard that rumor that they listen to Wasted World of Sports.
Yep. Yeah. Except for Brendan Smith, the cheese. He doesn't know what Wasted World of Sports is.
Oh, well, yeah, he's not there next week. So.
No, he wasn't there this week either. So there you go. All right, Wasted Water Sports, thank you so much for your company. Old Panther, thank you so much for your company as well.
Thank you.
The Panthers are through. Are you going to do the grand final with us? Should we do the grand final?
Oh, well,
Would the grand final be a little bit too much of an emotional investment?
Well, I'll tell you something, Dan. They down at the Logan City Scorpions, they asked me to keep the stats one game. And I got too involved in the game and kept missing the stats. And never asked me again. The same could happen next week.
We'll see. Well, we'll decide. I think we will cover it here, and I will leave it completely up to the old Panther to decide if he can handle being on camera for a grand final. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I'd be able to do it if 2016 repeats and the Sharks are ever in it again. I don't think I could possibly do it. Anyways, Wasted Water Sports, we will be back tomorrow. Broncos versus Warriors. Who is going to be joining the Panthers in the grand final? The odds say it's going to be the Broncos, but I dare say the Warriors will have a thing or two to say about it. We will find out tomorrow. Right here on the Wasted World of Sports, Broncos versus Warriors. Thank you very much for your company tonight. Appreciate it as always. And I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. His ass is hanging out as he makes a break up field. Stepping back. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the Wasted World of Sports is.